Hiya guys, right, today's a big day. I went a little bit crazy with Battlefield 1 just around the corner. There's so many games all coming out at once at the moment, so I've had lots of deliveries this morning, as you can see. So with Battlefield 1 being launched this month, I thought it's the perfect time to get some bits together, build a completely brand new PC. I would call it the ultimate Battlefield 1 PC. Okay, so we're ready for the build. Right, so looking at the motherboard itself, you get these little screw holes, which is how the motherboard is going to bolt into the case. Now with the case straight out the box, I don't know if you can see, but it comes with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 already in, which look to be 2, 4, 6 these. So we're going to need to put these extra 3 in. So let's screw these ones in. Right, so just make sure the others feel finger tight. Cables up out of the way with enough room. So these normally, I think, go from the... Oh, I was right. So that was the right thing to do. Put this one in first. 1, 2. So they just click in. Nice and easy. You don't have to force it. So it then knows when the board is in, it's going to have perfect connections. Right, let's try this again. So, in goes the board. Very carefully, like that. These little kind of gaskety bits go on first over the screw, so it can butt down in nicely. That's how I understand that. So, with a slight bit of pressure, put that into place and then see if that goes in, but I'm not sure if that is the right screw. So yeah, they're nice and snug. So you don't want to over tighten them, but enough that they're just nice and snug. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1 in the corner down there, 9. So that's what we've got in there at the moment. So that board is now in there, absolutely solid. Okay, so you can see basically I've just done a little bit of cable management, just tried to tidy it up, so it's exactly the same as what it was just now. The cables have just been hidden away there, so instead of basically running the cables around the front, what I've done, say like this with the HD audio, is tucked it around the back of the board, so I had to undo the screw a little bit. Put the HD audio on, wrapped it around the back, and then very carefully put the screw back in and tightened it just so it's snug. So it's not going to hurt the cable at all. And it's the same here with the USBs. They've all just been wrapped around, tidied up. Can't really do much with the little speaker. I mean, if anything, we could probably stick it to the case or something. But to me, it's not really doing a lot, is it? It's yeah, no problem. USB 3. Yeah, fine, wrapped around the back. So the only thing we've got at the front now is one of the power supplies for the fans. So yeah, so for what's in there at the moment, it's looking very tidy. Looking at this, I'd imagine it goes that way. Perfect. That's one side. Fine. Alright, there we go. So then we got these bigger screws. So yeah, the next thing would be power cables. So where are they? Okay, so we've got one right at the top and one there. So I don't know if I've got enough lead to be able to go through the back. That's again still, it's all running along the top, it's out of sight, it's fine. Then we've got the second one, which is like 16 pin I think it's called. There we go. Right, so he's on there. Set him up. Pull the excess back through like that, and then all of this can be obviously hidden. So that is the main PSU in. Then again, we can hide this in behind here. That's no problem whatsoever. Right, okay, now I've got the power supply in. I just want to use the modular leads and try and get a few more bits in. So I think we get the CD drive in. If in doubt, give it a whack. No, don't do that. It's very, very tight. So that should go in flush like that. Perfect. Right, so the modulars, the cables, put that one in there. I'm thinking that obviously we'll need one for the hard drive in a minute. That slots in here. So I'll run this out the back, like so. I can then put one in here. You guys can see, click it up here. Like that, so he's clicked in. I think it's probably a good time to get the hard drive. So he did that time. So that's fine, he'll go in the middle, so I know we've got a lot of air going around it. Let me move these. So I want to make sure I've got another SATA connection on here. Like that. That's fine, I'm not worried about that. And then if I did get an SSD drive, perfect. So that's absolutely perfect. Okay, so yeah, basically I'm installing the heatsink. Now, this is really complicated. I didn't realise it would be quite so difficult. But in the set you get so many different bits and gubbins with it. Basically, you put the screw through the hole. And then on the back you get this plate. I don't know if you can see that, but this plate comes with the heatsink itself. The nut goes on the back, like I've done here. So it's just the last one. There's also 3 slots. I don't know if you can see that. See that very clearly, but there's 3 different slots. There's the outside one, middle one, and the inside one. So on this socket, it's the middle one that we need. So let me put the screw through, and then as you can see it comes through the middle hole, and then we just put the nut on the end very carefully. So you got like a little socket tool with a Phillips. So I'm holding the other side, so holding the screw itself, I'm just going to try and tweak it up so I know it's nice and stuff like that. Don't drop that like I just did. I'm going to do opposite corners. So again, I'm holding it on the inside, and then I'm just tightening it up on the outside. I'm going to do this top one, holding it on the inside, screwing it from the back. It's got a lot more play on that one. There we go. And then this one. Oh, wrong one. Don't want to rip a capacitor off the motherboard. Right, There we go, so that is absolutely solid on the back now. I'll take the socket off. Okay, so looking at this now, I've worked out what it is. So basically you've got the 3 slots in this one as well, so each screw can go on the outside, inside, or in the middle. So again, it's the middle to do it. The easiest way of doing it is you kind of pull the screw out, and then it drops down into the bottom one. Pull it out and go into the top one, but we need it in the middle one, like that. And then once that's like that, that should, there we go, all line up perfectly. We're in the process of still sorting the heatsink out. I'm going to put some paste on the CPU itself, and then I'm going to try and bolt the heatsink over the CPU with the compound on it, and then we click the fan on afterwards. That's the plan. So here we go. I'm just going to basically do the P method. So let's put some. I reckon that, if you can see, should be fine. I think as long as you, as a rule, if you look at the capacitors and stuff around, as long as it's similar size to that, then generally as a rule that would normally be fine, because as soon as the heatsink is compressed, and also when it's hot, it will expand and compress it out over it. So he's on there like that. Tight. So that feels solid. Oh, I tell you what, that is going to be close when the side door goes on. I don't even know if that's going to fit in the case. Right, well, fingers crossed, it might just fit. Make sure it's not in the way. Click. Okay, so he's on solid. Then we need RAM, and then a graphics card, and then we're done. So what I want to do, I don't want to put them next to each other because I want to try and keep the airflow. So making sure the RAM is the right way round. Are there numbers on them? Tell you what, let's do the 2 grey ones, and then at least I know I'm getting airflow around them. So RAM's in, heatsink's on, fan's plugged in, fine, CD drive's in, hard drive's in, they're both connected by SATA, buttons are in, power supply's in, 2 points on there, so it is, I think, just a graphics card now. And then we're going to need an extra cable from the power supply to go to the graphics card. So I'm just going to sit him down there a minute because I need to work out where he's going to go. So we have to take these ones out. 1, 2. So it's basically opening the ports up at the back. That. And then the card comes with a protector over the components. With the power, fine, that's there. That's a big card. Click. So he's snapped in nicely. I need a screw to screw him on the back to hold the card solid. In fact, we need 2 screws. So he's nice and snug. Okay, so we've got the graphics card in. Got the power supply routed around and tucked in, so everything's looking all pretty snug. Just a wireless card, so I've popped the port off on the back, so that slots in like that, ching. And then we just need to screw it in. So now he's snug, he's going nowhere. And then a screw on here. Fold up there. Make sure not to cross thread them. Like that. And they're done. Perfect. So that's it. Everything's in. The plastic off. I need to have a bit of a tidy up out of all the rubbish. Everything's in nice and snug. Graphics cards in, CPU's in, RAM's in, fans are in, and all plugged in. Mini speaker, wireless cards in. Optical drive, the SATA cables are connected, USB 3 is connected, HD audio connected at the top. Yep, that's done, and that's the complete. Pretty good looking. It's going to be an absolute stonker of a computer if it works. I think that'll be fine. So that's it, built. What a beast. So we got there in the end. Okay, so I'm just plugging it all in and hopefully anything will blow up. So everything's plugged in, so we've got the keyboard, I've got audio going to the monitor, I've got HDMI and the power lead and the two areas for the Wi-Fi. So I guess moment of truth. Will it go bang? Will it not go bang? What's it doing? I've put the discs in, we're installing Windows on it. One thing that I did notice straight away when I did turn it on was I did put the CPU fan on the wrong fan connection on the motherboard, so it did throw that up. So I quickly popped that back onto the right connector, and yeah, everything was good to go. So I've had no problems whatsoever looking at the temperatures and things in the BIOS. Everything seems to be running pretty steady. So yeah, so far so good. So I'm just waiting for Windows to install on it, and then yeah, see where we get.